brought to my attention that in actuality, in plain sight, it's telling you on the wall, coded. What gives it away, you're gonna see that what's been hidden is right in front of you the whole time. That's why that 3 is there, because the 3 represents C. Yeah, the 3 represents C, because 3 is the 3rd letter in the alphabet. You're gonna see up top that says U.L.T. The U is gonna be bulleted to identify that the U is to be taken to its numerology. The U is the 21st letter in the alphabet, and 2 and 1 gives you 3. So in essence, what's being shown on the wall is coded to say code. C-U-L-T. Yes. So what's actually being said is likened to some sex code, but a code nevertheless. You see? And then as he gets closer to the wall, when you stand up, you're going to see that out of everyone, it's being shown more clearly with this guy whom she says shoo to, and backing him up. On the wall, it's coded 333, but it also is the giveaway to encode. Now mind you, this is back in the 80s, I believe. Yeah, it's 80 something. You did? And pressed into the future to identify with some higher echelon spiritual code, which only simply mean a code is falling one that fall up under a culture. We all live in a culture. Our culture, our society, our ways is what is being identified, you see, on the wall, because it's a lot of things that's also coded. I wasn't going to reveal this because I wanted y'all to be able to pick it, see it, identify, analyze, process, put everything's proper perspective until you gather it. That's why you notice next to him right there is a circular glow, a brown or darkish like circular glow right there, shadowed next to him. And then as he gets closer, you're going to see out of the 2 that was electrocuted, Carlos was electrocuted, and then this man here, Mason, who has the crown on his chest. And then as he get closer, you're going to see what is actually being shown, hidden in plain sight. But when it's meant for those that know, it's meant for those that know. Okay, now you can see it clearly. Now, what's on that wall says you. It's like a L. It's like a up under the U is the 3. You see? And then after the U, you got U-L-T. And the reason why it's bullet next to the U to identify, you see, was to identify what's actually being said regarding the U and what it's pertaining to. Now look, watch, pay attention. There it go right there. You see how the U, you see how the U is bulleted right over the U, and that line next to the U is to border. It goes straight down to the 3. You're not going to see no other letter next to that U, but what's up under the U is the 3 that says coat. C-U-L-T. LT. Okay, it's gonna say coat. Like, this is the U. The 3 is gonna be right there. So that's gonna say C, U, L, and then the T. That's what that says. That says coat. Now, society has taught y'all to think coat is bad. But when you were part of a tribe and you part of a order, a secret society, or your family, y'all have a certain type of culture or practice that y'all practice. And this is simply saying for those who are connected, those who are initiated. You see, this is what the energy represents. Those who've been touched, a certain selective cult who has been blessed with the energy, blessed with this transformation, and with the ancient ones being revealed. Now, I figure y'all be able to catch these signs. Many of y'all probably have, but you seen it, but you didn't see it. You seen it, but you didn't see it. So, as you can see, just look clearly. You see? And this it's 3 broken up, mind you. It's broken up with 3 different type of coats when you understand, right? Check it out. So, do that again. All right. So, when you look at it, this is a hidden 3, right? That's a 3. Remember I showed you that you have 3, 3, and 3, correct? That's a 3. So what you have is, that's a L, this is a O, and that's a T. Even when you spell like old Coke 45. But as you can see, Coke mean horse, just like horse as in Heru is what it's code to. That's still what unscramble to say Coke, right? And in my mind's eyes are being revealed to me. Okay? Now, if you understand that it also says a lot. L-O-T. What does that mean? What does lot mean? Now, we know about the story pertaining to Lot. But what actually does lot mean? Now check it out. It says lot means, L-O-T, a particular group, collection, or set of people or things. An article or set of articles for sale at an auction. Now mind you, what did that extraterrestrial baby have on his head? On his body, on the top, it said auction. Yeah, it said auction on his head. Go back, look at it. An article or set of articles for sale at an auction, correct? Was to identify that the connection to a particular group, a collection, a set of people or things. Yeah. All right, do you see it now? Now, it don't say fully auction. It say auction, or listen, that's the missing C, because it's supposed to say caution. You get it? The C is supposed to be next to the A to say C-A-U-T-I-O-N, to say caution. But in essence, what's saying, it's saying auction. The A, the C, that's supposed to be here. That will make it say, hold up, that will make it say caution, right? C-A U-T-I-O-N, caution. But that's not what it's saying. Nah. What it's saying caution. And here you go. Caution. You see what it say? Caution. What do caution mean? Care taken to avoid danger or mistake. Caution, a amusing or surprising person that alien baby is. And then here, say something as a warning. So it's saying something as a warning that this being, this extraterrestrial being, is a warning. So this what the caution mean. Listen, I can't make this up. It's right there. AUTION means uninhabited, abandoned, desolate, or empty. It can refer to a place that is no longer in use, a farm or field that has fallen into. It's very important in regarding the warning that's being stated in the movie, and the meaning of that name and what it actually means correlates to biblical. So this is truly a warning. Listen, I'm just a messenger giving this message. Listen to what Jordan Maxwell, what he states. Research this. Go to this link and watch it. Listen.
Was translated by the best translators that the king had at the time, and it was very well done. However, they know more about the language today than what they did then, and so there's a lot of imperfections in the King James Bible that could be misleading unless you understand what the words actually meant in the ancient world. And so when you read in the beginning, this is Genesis 1:1, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. That's not what it says in Hebrew. It says in the beginning of the creation, Elohim created the heavens and the earth. Elohim is not the word God. El is a Phoenician, Canaanite name or word for deity, El, E-L. We talked a little bit about that last week. Elohim is like adding an S onto an English word. You have. This is why, incidentally, in Genesis 1:28, when God is creating Adam and Eve, the first couple, and it says, God said, come, let us make man in our image, according to our likeness. Who's us and our? Was God talking to himself? Come, let us make man in our image after our likeness. Later on in Genesis, I think it's 3, the scripture says, God said, here man has become as one of us, knowing good and evil. The point is, who is God talking about? Us. Here's man made in our image after looking like us. Here, now he's like us. Who's us? Who's our? Well, it's Elohim, the gods. So consequently, what we're talking about here is that the gods created us, created the heavens and the earth and all things on it. Now, more important to my, and this is the whole subject, of course, you could take this, in many different directions. But interesting, in Genesis 1:2, says, and the earth was without form and void. That's another mistranslation. In the original, it does not say that the earth was without form and void. Actually, it says, and the earth became a waste and a desolation. Not form and void, but waste and desolation. And it was not, as I said, the scripture, if you read it today in the Bible, Genesis 1:2, says, and the earth was without form and void. No. The earth became a waste and a desolation.
This is why I say this, make this a warning, because in understanding that when it says that the earth was void and without form, and darkness on the face of the deep. It states the original text says that it was in desolation, it was a waste. And this word means inhabited, abandoned, which means desolate, as if to identify. If you listen to what's actually being said in the Phoenician, which is the original language, identify, just listen to what he said. Don't take my word for it. You'll understand what the actual real Hebrew language in essence speaks. No dragging around that. Desolation. So it's identified that this being, this baby, is likened to the Heru Christ, to be a warning to what could potentially be a rehatching of what happened before creation was created. It was desolate. It was a desolation. It was a waste, which means it was destroyed. And when God said, come, let's do this again, when he created Adam and Eve, was to repopulate, to start all over and do it all over again. So I'm understanding that this extraterrestrial being, this coded child used in these names and hidden and coded, is to identify what potentially could happen on this planet. Or a place that is wide and spacious, particularly in northern Finland. It can also be used as a surname or a ornamental name, but that's also a name of some family. Yeah, and surname, that's a name for a family, and it also has a family crescent. When we look it up, when we look into it more, you see Usher family crescent, coat, arms, and name. Let's see what that's about, because maybe that's dealing with some meaning of the Usher family crescent. Look. Usher family crest and coat of arms. Meaning of the Artian family crescent coat. The chevron shape symbolized the historical family home. The feather has been used in centuries represent family members. Okay? So we see, and there it go. Man, I knew the code would come out. We just discovered that this extraterrestrial has this name, that same symbol that's on the key, that same symbol that's on the banister. Listen, the family name Artian is of Finnish origin, derived from the word, I gotta look this up, okay? We gotta get the full correct pronunciation, meaning deserted or abandoned. It often denotes a historical connection to remote areas or inhabited lands. The name reflects a relationship to nature and the wilderness and Finnish culture. Yeah, there we go. Now let's go back to that. There you go. That's the same name. So, the feather, we see the color black and gold it shows. And those letters goes down towards this desolate like area, which is this once was dead, right? Because we always in a dead state till we wake up to ourselves. You see, when he was enlightened, when he went into the water, baptized in the troubles, came out from the pipes of persecution. Yeah, we all been through those pipes. You see, came out through the toilet. Yeah, came out through the shit that one been through, that we all been through. That's what it identified with me. There's a reason why this baby, I done been through much shit. You all have. We all been in a desolate space. This is why the connection to this piece that's connected, that black and gray piece that says this royal seal is the same colors of his eyes. Black and gray, black and silver. If you know, you know. How the word is pronounced.
A-U-I-O.
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 As you can see, that when the door opens, the little square part capture the U-L-T. The C is either, depending on how you interpret it, when it say lot, or it say C-O-T, as in cot. Now, when you look up, you will see that the word cot means bed. A camp bed, particularly a portable, castable one. You know, of course, they say the homeless survives on it, but put up, right? An army-like bed, a every night type bed, a baby's crib, which makes sense because what's happening in that upper room up top, where these extraterrestrial beings is being, they're having a baby, which explains why you can interpret to be C-O-T and L-O-T. And then as we look further, we'll notice that the origin of his name is Anglo-Indian. It's the difference between Native American. I'm part Native American. Sioux, Blackfoot, as well as Port.3, as well as of Akabulam in origins. You see, but Native Americans is slighted when you say Indian. That's a derogatory term, but that's a term that's been used, so it's been commonly accepted by many. But people from India are Indians. Anywho, but mid-17th century, originally Anglo-Indian, denoting a light bedstead, okay? Listen, cot, a small shelter. This is the reason why they're sheltered in that area to do the work. She's the code to them having an alien baby because it's an alien woman baby. Okay? All right. Now we'll notice that when the older lady threw that can in there, go back and watch Battery Not Included. When the older lady threw that can in there, the door opened up and the woman who's pregnant, she gonna shift to the side to cover up the hidden C, the hidden letter that would make it actually say C-U-L-T. All this is in plain sight. Y'all looking, but y'all not seeing. It's actually talking about that cot, that bed. That cot is like what's being shown where he's standing at, because when he step out, he stands right there. And it's like cot. You know, certain people don't like to say the word D-I, you get the rest. Some people say cock. I know a lot of Caucasians say cock, women. But anyway, men too, when they say, yeah, you know. But if you know, you know. So this is what's actually being said. This is identifying with like some type of secret, high-level, spiritual sex cult of elevated energy and origin, love being the highest vibration. I remember watching something on YouTube where some high-level priestess considered her bed to be her altar. Love hurt no one, but when love is taken and everything is being done in the means without free will, then it become an issue, become a problem. As I explained to you, if you are part of a coven in a secret society, whatever happened in that society is secret to them, and certain mysteries is only given to those within that mystery. You see? A culture is what we follow. A culture is what we live. Certain tribes have their own culture that they follow. You see? Now, when you put cult and culture, it's all intertwined. But cult has been used because you had wrong leaders and people doing things macabre, atrocious, and sinister. You see? And then many times it become pugnacious in that environment because people want to flee. But these these beings encoding the message to identify with something of a high level, you get it. So the ancestors brought this all to my attention because when you watch on batteries included, batteries not included, you will see that the buildings around this restaurant, everything was in desolation. Everything was being picked up pretty much by the bulldozers in the truck. Pay attention to the signs because the signs and the warnings were all placed there for a reason. Yeah, it might have been in the 80s, but sometimes when the ancient ones deliver a message to the echelons about what's happening on this planet and they don't want to tell the people, the gods will speak to someone in whom worthy to be able to convey these messages. You see? Because when you understand that in the book of Daniel, when it speak about Nebuchadnezzar having a dream, and in that dream it have fragments of part of, what was it, a leg or a body, fragmented. Each one represented a color, copper, bronze, gold, or something like that. Notice those fragmented pieces. It's also connected to this extraterrestrial baby. I believe these are signs of what could potentially be what's about to happen on this planet. And the warnings is given to prepare the population. Now, to corroborate and validate, substantiate what I'm saying, that when I tell you, Carlos, I believe that's his name, Carlos has a necklace on his neck that is a Heru, the falcon. Pay attention. It's the same thing that you will notice that the signs about the lot that he's next to was to identify with a horse, a cot being a horse, but also that horse is representative of Heru. Heru, horse, Heru. The Christ, Heru being Christ. Aset, Asar, Heru. Aset, the mother, Asar, the father, and Horus, the third, the Trinity, where you get your story about Yeshua, the Jesus, and the Mary, and the child. This is why you hear about, it's being stated about that Isa, Yeshua, if Yeshua was dead, they said he wouldn't bleed out, but if he was dead, they was allegedly saying that in stories that he was taken down before his time, and that he was saying that all around India, Egypt, that he had a child or whatnot. You know, believe what you believe, but do your research, because at the end of the day, it's still, from what we know, religion has been placed out here to pretty much cripple the population, you know. But hey, believe what you want to believe. I'm gonna say that I've had many futuristic dreams, and if you remember my story time, that it showed me in my story time where I talk about a dream vision scared the fudge out of me, that I was at an airport and that people was frantic because fiery comets were coming down to the sky, was destroying the planet, and that a lady was screaming and said something, and a fiery comet came and destroyed her, and a old school aircraft plane came down and picked me up, and I got aboard and went up, evading the fiery comet that was destroying the planet. And a fiery comet was coming towards this plane, and it moved out the way. And now my dreams and my visions have always been, I had a lot of accuracy to my dreams and visions. If I'm able to show you that, I even had dreams and vision what ultimately led to the divorce with my first wife. I ain't gonna say her name, but I had a vision that she was cheating on me, that she was in Potawatomi or whatnot. She was in a casino, that it showed that she was in a casino and that she was with somebody. And when she actually came home, she told me that she was at a casino and she stayed out later than what she's supposed to. And she normally come home all the time, but she ended up staying overnight and coming home in the morning time with only $21 in her pocket. And that led to a big fight. So what I'm saying is, I also had a dream that told me about when I was incarcerated. I had this dream that my son broke his arm. I wrote that down. I have a dream book. I wrote it down. Just as you've seen about the Spider-Man's in red, that's my little dream book. In that it says my son Jelani had broke his arm, but she won't tell me about it. And when she finally came up to see me, she told me that Jelani had broke his arm. When he came up, he got a cast on his arm. So from the gods through the gods, like I said, I'm just the voice. The ancestors convey these messages, and I give it to y'all. I just find it ironic that the restaurant was destroyed by fire. The restaurant was destroyed by fire, and the fiery comets came down from the sky. When Jordan Maxwell speaks about desolation and waste, you'll notice that desolation and waste was around that restaurant, and the only thing was standing was that restaurant. Yeah, there's a lot of things that that happens that I don't speak on. Like I didn't convey to y'all about 2 months ago. It was 2 months ago. I had on the phone. I was talking to my queen, and I told her, stop and give me some Jamaican food. Yeah, I want some oxtails, red beans and rice, whoop-de-whoop. I said it over the phone. So when I finally got home, she ate hers. I noticed her box didn't say no, but sometimes they'll say it's spicy, they might put a little red on it. But on my box it said S-P-Y or S-P-I, spy. My spidey senses shot up, but I debunked it. It was written on the box, but I debunked it. I lifted it up. When I seen it said spy, I'm like, that's strange. My spidey sense shot up, and a warning shot up. But I looked at that food, and my senses kicked in, and my Puerto Rican side say, yeah, we gonna eat. Man, when I ate it, I end up, when I talk to them, like, yo, something ain't right with this food. I eat and I start coughing in my throat, start having an issue with my throat, and it start to progress. And I had to turn up on my energy and my healing, and I was down for a day fighting it, and I recovered within a day. Turned up my energy in anger and fought that was in me, and radiated my energy outside me to fight what it was that might have brought about that attack. And ironically, strange enough, I think soon after that, the next day, it says that the Pope was hospitalized with the flu. I don't know if he had nothing to do with it or whatever, but I find it ironically, and that was on the 14th. Yeah, I think it was on the day that happened was on the 14th 41 and 14, on the 14th and 41. On the 14th, that he was hospitalized. Understand, from the gods, through the gods, by the gods. I stand for that which is right and just. But I don't embody just good as y'all call it. And I don't embody just evil. I'm saying it just is what it is. This red and blue represents that which authorized to issue our punishment. But I also acknowledge the good and the dark matter from the gods through the gods. 1.